I'd like to call the Brimfield Township Board of Trustees meeting to order. Roll call for attendance, please.
Kevin,
Here.
Sue,
Here.
Nick,
Here. We have a quorum. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence or prayer. Thank you. All right, we'll move right into our meeting here with announcements and correspondences. Does anybody have any announcements?
Yeah, I have an announcement. I received an email from Pastor Wetzel from the Victory Baptist Church, and he has been attending our meetings and opening our meeting in prayer. And since we have changed our time to the evening, in conversation with him, Monday is the only day he has off for family time. And so he, at this point, is unable to be here at 7 in the evening. He did say that he really appreciates the opportunity have to do that for the township, for our meetings. And so I just appreciate his time and talents that he has shared with us over the years. So at this point, I want to ask that we have a thank you letter sent to him for his part in the community. And he's still in the community, and I'm sure he'll still be active in some things that come along our way. And he'll be available there for us if we need him for anything. But I would like to make sure that it is acknowledged that we appreciate what he has done for us. And so with that in mind, I would like to let the board know that, in my opinion, I would like to reach out and have one of the pastors of our churches come in and open up our meetings in prayer. So this you may want to talk about. You may want to wait and talk about it later, or do it now, or whatever. I don't care, but I just don't want to give up that privilege that we have.
Yeah, I agree. I think Pastor Wessel's done an amazing job. Kevin, you get a chance to see him from the board perspective,
Yes.
but he always would send us little emails with notes of encouragement. It was really nice. It was very supportive.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for
So
that,
who's
Sue.
going to write him a letter? Who's going to write him a thank you letter?
You want to write him a letter?
I can write him a letter.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Okay, I can do that.
All
I'll
right.
write that down.
Thank you, Sue.
Do we have any other announcements or correspondences? No. Hearing none, we have no meeting guest today. Meeting minutes we will not have until next meeting. The agenda, I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any additions or changes to the agenda?
Just an addition of an acceptance of a donation from the fire department.
All right, so fire department.
$50 donation.
What do we
Department
have?
Number one, they're gonna have a $50 donation, so we're gonna add fire department to the
Fire
agenda.
report. Oh, okay. Let me write it down here.
And is that all you want right now?
Yeah.
The other two are discussion points.
Yeah, just anything that's gonna require board action.
Okay.
$50 donation, and somebody's going to send him a thank you note?
Yep, yeah, we'll talk about it when we get, we're just amending the agenda right now.
Okay.
Okay, any other amendments? All right, hearing none, roll call for approval of the motion to accept the agenda as amended.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase orders that were provided to us. Sue, they're right in front of you here too. They're
Oh,
just two
it's-
blanket purchase orders.
Oh, okay. I thought
These will
that
be
was
for
an extra
utilities.
check for me. Okay. So moved. You need
Second.
the motion, or you need the
Yep, I
second?
need a motion, so
I'll make the motion.
Sue motions.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Roll call?
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
And I'll entertain a motion to do we have any warrants?
No warrants
No warrants this time.
currently.
All right, so we'll just cross off warrants this time. Open up the floor to public comments. We have no
you go.
guests
Need your
today,
signature.
so we'll just move right into safety concerns. Any safety concerns?
No.
All right, hearing no safety concerns, we'll move into the business portion. Under administration, we'll start with that. New business community center rentals. Want me to leave that off?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have currently is, once the Parks Director position had vacated, we had stopped taking any further rentals of the community center. Since then, I know I've received some residents reach out.
Yeah,
I don't know
mine too.
if you have
Yes,
also.
yes, I have.
And they want to know, when is the community center rentals going to reopen? And are we going to honor some of the existing rentals? Now, I know the ones that have already been paid for, we're taking care of those, and those are happening. But for example, the Loop wasn't closed for the Boy Scouts. They were using the community center once or twice a month for their Boy Scout meetings, and they just want to make sure they can continue using it for the remainder of the year. So I guess what I'm looking for tonight, just for discussion, and then maybe, I don't think we'll per se have action, but what is the path forward? We're here today. How do we get to a point that we have community center rentals open? Is there a path to that? What's that process look like? And then what do we do with those non-paying rentals? Can we open that up at least to allow the Boy Scouts or any of those nonprofits to still use it young at hearts? And it's not as simple as, yeah, let's do it, because then we gotta figure out, well, who's going down there to make sure it gets cleaned and that type of stuff. So, anybody wants to chime in on this, I'm open for conversation. And I don't know behind the scenes how it's operating. I don't know, Joe or Roy, if you can kind of fill us in.
Actually, Roy asked me to type up some information,
Oh, okay.
so this is a high level, and I apologize, I probably shouldn't be doing it.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
But this is a high level of what just the community center is requiring right now.
Okay.
Now, I'm already starting to get things about the sports fields also. I haven't even looked into what that would require.
Well, I would tell you to hold off on the sports field one, because there might be a proposal coming in to kind of blanket rent for baseball and a blanket rent for soccer to make it simpler.
Okay. So, I don't know.
Right.
I have had people already asking me about soccer teams and baseball teams that are not field use soccer, or the traditional people. These are independent already.
Right. And we've always, the rule always has been on the table was that there was a period for local to rent first.
Yes.
So that's kind of where we're at. We're still in that window. All right, so looking at this, managing rentals, handling emails and calls currently happens. There was 15 last week. Scheduling showings, 3 have been requested, so some people want to see it before they rent it, so it takes some time to make that happen. Sending and verifying rental contracts when they do rent it. Then we have to manage deposits, payments, and refunds. We've had 4 calls since Cassie's left from renters for after-hour or weekend help. Then we have to coordinate rental cleaning, pest control, and the road departments.
Well, we are so short-staffed right now, and we're in this reboot phase. With all the things there that somebody has to do, you know, right now we got everything on pause. And with all the things that Joe has listed there that has to be done in that package, I don't see how we can do that, because we don't have the staff. Joe doesn't have the time with his other 40-hour-a-week job. He doesn't have the time to do all that. And I don't know of anybody else that would. We're all kind of maxed out right now.
And I don't disagree with the paid rentals. I think I'm looking for are we gonna have a path forward? Because a lot of residents are asking. We're just getting a lot of questions about it. And we're paying property tax, we're paying electric, we're paying gas on a building, and then we're not utilizing the building. What is that path forward, right? I guess that's the discussion.
That's a good question. So Joe's handling all of it now?
What it was explained to me was anything that was already rented, I am helping with that.
Okay.
Okay.
I will say, and I apologize if something did get overlooked because of the transition, I had already spoken to 2 different Girl Scout troops and told them that there was no issues with going forward. if someone contacted me from Boy Scouts, I may not have realized the two Girl Scout troops identified themselves as Girl Scout troops.
Okay.
And so the way that Cassie has it in the system, they're an infinite rental. So
Okay.
they're already in the system. I told them there's no problem.
And
And
their
so-
question was that they were emailing with Cassie before she left, and the loop never got closed with them. And they're like, we just want to make sure we can continue
Yes,
to use it.
if they were already, let's just say they come in the second Tuesday of every month or whatever the process is, that reservation is still in the system.
Okay.
So, and I already communicated that to the Girl Scouts, because when they reached out to me, they identified if they emailed Cassie before she left, or if they emailed me and they didn't identify themselves as the Boy Scouts, I may have just not realized that's who they were.
No,
And
I
I don't
think-
know the troop. I don't know the leader names.
Yeah, they just said the last communication was from Cassie. And,
Okay.
like, the loop never got closed. So she reached, I just know her, so she reached out to me and said, hey, what's the status
no,
of this?
those reservations are still in the system, and
Okay.
so I don't, see any issues with that. You
Are,
know,
are there any other nonprofits that, as you can see, that
we
are?
have two HOA groups
Okay.
that meet regularly once a month. I'm going to reference Bill Anderson's HOA.
Okay.
I know that's coming up on, I believe it's Tuesday. Bill asked me again, same thing. Cassie already had that as an auto repeating, so those are a nonprofit, non-chargeable currently. So
So
I don't
there's
see-
no processing of a security
yeah,
deposit
I
or
have
payment
nothing
going
to,
on.
other than making sure that the community center is available, which it's reserved
And
that day.
it's cleaned and there's adequate supplies on hand, all those things we still need to do, even if it's a
Right,
nonprofit.
we do still have to coordinate, stock it. I did go over there today, because I know there's some upcoming rentals. We're out of paper towels, so at some point, I'm gonna have to get paper towels for the community center. It's that, it's going over, making sure that it's clean, there wasn't any damage, we have all the appropriate supplies. That's the challenge, and today was the first day that I've actually had a reason to go over there. I just wanted to double check everything. And I did look to see, do we have toilet paper, do we have paper towels? We're out of paper towels, we have toilet paper. I don't see any visual issues with the community center, so everything should be good for, as I said, Bill, I know Bill's, Anderson's HOA is meeting there, I believe it is tomorrow. So I just verified that everything looked good. But that's the process is, if I would just have to find a schedule of, okay, I know Cassie her process was she went over before and after every rental. She made sure it was good, they did the rental, she went afterwards, re-verified everything. I don't know if is that the intention of the board, that's the service level we want to continue. I mean, that seems like that may be what's necessary, but I don't know that.
Would it be unreasonable with the nonprofits for the time being, and I guess it's to Roy and you, Joe, to just go over before the rental? Like sometime between the last rental, I don't think we need to do it twice, right at the end of the rental and right before the next rental, but just to make sure that they have toilet paper and
Yeah.
there isn't a hole in the wall.
Yeah, do they have access to a code to get in?
Yes, yeah, each person that's rented it, Cassie assigned a code.
Okay.
If it's with the few residents that had rentals already.
Okay.
I assign them codes. Usually, the process, as Cassie explained it to me, is she usually goes in and looks at 1 week out. She verifies payment, this contract, and then she gives the code out. So I've been continuing with that. She did a really good job of making sure everything that was already in the system already had contracts, already had payments. So I haven't had to deal with any contracts or payments. I'm sure at some point we're gonna have to do some deposit refunds. We haven't processed any of those since Cassie left. I'm sure there is going to be refunds, if not already due, that will be due shortly, because we've had, a half dozen paid reservations in the system.
Okay.
I don't know how long after the rental Cassie does the deposit return. I believe it lines up with the trustee meeting, so probably every 2 weeks she's been doing it. Would make sense, because you guys have to sign off on the checks.
And
But it's that
been,
process.
and that's been actually handling a paper check. That just actually processes a paper check back to the
Because
person.
we don't
It's not
do
electronic.
refunds via credit
Right.
card, we do it via check.
Right.
So it sounds like we have a plan in place to continue the nonprofits.
Yes,
For the
because the money aspect isn't
foreseeable
in
future.
there. The contract is more or less a blank, I believe it's a blanket. I don't know if we do a contract every year with the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and HOAs, but I went ahead and said since they're already in the system as a reservation, they're good to go.
Okay.
And you're okay handling them?
They're, for them, there
No, I
really
mean
isn't
you.
too much of a problem. Yes, I
Okay.
don't see any issues with that.
Okay.
Because there isn't really that much effort. They know the code, they know how to use the community center. We would like to believe that because they've been doing it every month, they're not gonna cause any damage or whatnot. You know, if I've gotta step over once a week and verify that there's toilet papers and paper towels and stuff, that's not too much of an ask. But it is, I know, as you brought up, there was a lot of residents that are calling. I mean, just since I left today, I've gotten 3 more calls from residents asking to reserve the community center. So there is a lot of people that they're waiting for an answer. So that's the challenge.
Well,
And
just
I
think
understand it.
Yeah, and I think, in that busy season, I think there's roughly 20 rentals per month, but starting roughly May through September. So, having said that, we're in the boat that we're in at the moment. We can't be everything to everybody at the moment. That's just the nature of the beast as we sit today. I think I would agree with Nick about the nonprofit piece, but we've kind of got an established piece in place already for them.
Okay.
That we can follow up on that piece. Beyond that,
Yeah, new rentals, new paid rentals adds a whole complexity because now you've got contracts and payments and.
I think for now, my recommendation would be to not open that back up yet. I don't think we're staffed to do that.
Yeah, I don't think I was asking for us
Yeah.
to open it up today. I'm just asking for a path forward to get there at some point. Be it 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is. Just at some point, it's either that or do we keep the community center?
Well, when we have this little mind back here in the back of our mind, this little thought I've had a few residents say, well, why don't you sell something? Well, people don't realize that when we bought that community center, we bought 27 acres with that.
You didn't have a choice. You're some of your,
No, we took 27 acres
I
and
know.
added it to the park.
but your buildings were on the other property,
Yeah,
but.
and we
yeah.
had to fill in the pool, but anyway, when we did buy that, we just didn't just buy the community center. We bought 27 acres and added it to the Edson Park down there.
Right.
So when we sell, we're just looking at selling that like 5 acres or 3 acres or what it was, we had it replatted. So when we go to sell that, if we decide to sell it, that it would be just that little spot, it wouldn't be any of the other acreage.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'm just, like I said, I wanted to bring it up because I've gotten a lot of phone calls and we need to start thinking, we don't need a decision today, but we got to figure out a path forward. We're paying utilities, we're paying gas. There was a lot of money that was put into that building over the past few years.
Do we want to be a rental? I mean, do we want to be in the rental business?
I think having a community, there's some benefit to having a community room. What we wanted to get away from was using this as a community room. Because in the old trustee building, we did that, and then there was paint on the floors, and there was paint on the desks, and it wasn't meant to go from business to community to business. It just didn't mix well.
But I think we really do need a community venue here to give us a feeling that we belong here in Brimfield. This is Brimfield, and we are able to offer something. I know you can have 50 people in the basement of the Kelso house. They have a full kitchen in there. But if you want anything bigger,
Well, it's not much bigger than the community center, really.
that's what,
85.
50? That's another 50.
If-
But it's also, if it gets really, really cold, we can put our homeless people in the community and keep them warm. But, and it can, can be used, but it's like, if I want to have a corn roast or whatever, I have the park and all that down there. And I think it's a good offering for something for the community till something better comes along. But what I'm concerned about is Joe. I know he's got a 40-hour week, and then assuming these other responsibilities of Parks and Recs, which is it's not a full-blown Parks and Rec thing, but it keeps us going. I don't want to see this put on him for any more than 3 months, because then you're infringing upon him. That's my opinion. So we're going to have to do something.
I mean, if I recall, the financials
Right.
don't look so good on that whole
No, they
project,
don't.
right? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay.
Because
Could we-
we don't make any money from the rentals.
Roughly, without looking at the numbers, in conversation with Cassie, roughly what we put in for maintenance and the costs associated with that and what we take in rentals, there's maybe a little bit of misinformation that this township makes money off of that community center. It's pretty much
Yeah,
a
we
break
do.
even,
Yeah,
Right.
give or take, that's about where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
but you're spending your time, you
Right.
know.
Well, I think we answered one of the big questions was the nonprofits, so that
Right.
will continue. I think we need to start thinking about what this looks like moving forward, and in the next 2 meetings, have a proposal for a path forward, what that looks like. I'm not saying that we dump it on Joe's plate, right, but how do we start to look at that? And I think I just put that challenge out to everybody to start thinking about what is that path forward? Because are we gonna continue putting money into this building, maintaining it, and doing all that work? Are we gonna open rentals up, or are we not? I think we just have to have some plan of action, and the board needs to be able to give a better answer to the public than, well, we just have it closed right now.
Then we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know.
So, but this is the best answer right now, because we just don't have the staffing for it. Don't disagree with that. I think we just need to start having that discussion with path forward. But not, having nonprofits handled, that makes me feel a little bit
Yeah,
better.
really good.
Because I don't want to leave those nonprofit organizations high and dry, because that's
Well,
part
you
of
know,
it.
we also need a backup for Jenny as a cemetery sexton. Because if she's on vacation or she's ill or whatever, there's nobody there. So perhaps all these little tentacles hanging out here of job opportunities that needs to be done, we may be able, make that part. Maybe, could we get an intern maybe from one of the colleges around to come in and work on that for a little bit?
I think interns are better for projects than running a system like that, because then you're gonna
Oh,
train them,
yeah.
leave them, train them, leave them.
Yeah, that's a lot of training. There's a lot of avenues that has to be taken care of. But I hate to come in here to buy a plot and not have anybody that knows anything about how to do it.
Right. We have some planning that needs to happen there,
All right.
but we also need money to do it.
Yeah, we need some money.
Right.
All right, so let's leave it at this. As it sits right now, nonprofits will be able to use that. There was a question from the school too, Joe. If they need to get into the community room at the library, can you reset that passcode for
Yes.
them?
Yeah,
They just need to reach out to you directly?
Yes, just reach out to me. I have access to that door
Because
also.
the elementary school uses that room over there.
Okay.
So,
Yep, just reach out to me. I
okay,
can help.
all right, perfect. I just want to make sure we connect those dots for the elementary
Yep.
school too. And then, we'll give it about 2 meetings to come up with a game plan and circle back to this under old business to talk about the future plan of the community center. And then sports fields that is Brimfield only rentals right now, but we don't even have that rental portal open. So let's circle back to that in 1 to 2 meetings too, because there's some ideas coming from
Okay,
behind the
I,
scenes.
on a related but different topic, I did forward you the turf company that does our, I believe it's the baseball field
Okay.
maintenance. They sent me the contract for this year. I forwarded it to you.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'll send it out there. I just saw it this evening.
Okay.
I think I have a solution for that too, so.
Yeah. Right. So,
Okay.
okay.
All right. Any other discussion under community center?
Just a second.
Yeah.
Now if we did sell that off, do we sell it as a house? It can't be commercial. What,
I don't know how you sell it, honestly. It would be a bid project, because I looked into how we sell
but you,
property, and you can't just get a real estate agent. Like, we would just have to open it up to bid, and people would have to bid it and figure out what they're gonna do with it.
yeah. Okay.
So I don't know how much you'd really get out of it because of the condition it's in. It's not a house anymore,
And it's not commercial.
because I don't think it's zoned. Is it zoned that way?
It's zoned R1, or is it parks? Does it fall under parks? It might be under PR.
I'll have to ask Mike Ladd. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
So
That might be
it might be difficult to sell.
yeah. Yeah, it might. He may be in the rental business.
All right.
Thank
Any
you.
other discussion on the community center? If not, we will move into board approval. I will entertain a motion to accept the administration and parks inventory.
So moved.
And I will second.
Motion is second to accept the inventory as presented. Roll call.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the fire inventory as presented.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the police inventory as presented.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
And what about zoning?
I believe
Does that all
it's
fall under
under,
admin?
Admin.
Okay, even though we did pull apart. Okay.
and then I'll entertain a motion to accept road inventory.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right, and we'll go into fire departments. You got a donation?
Yeah, we just need to accept the $50 donation, and it's already been handed over to Jasmine.
I'll entertain a motion to accept a $50 donation to the fire department.
I'll make a motion to accept the $50 donated to the fire department.
Second.
Roll call.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
all right, motion passed.
And then fire, if we get some other updates.
Yeah, I
or
had
conversations.
some update conversations, so I needed to bring this up tonight, so, and one of the reasons I need to bring it up now is that possibly, I was told on the 18th it might happen, which is next week. There's been discussion that the fire department would have the possibility of housing a county asset, which would be a new boat. That would be given to the Portage County Water Rescue Team. They've been having a discussion on whether who would house, what would be the central area that would be the best to house the boat. They came up, said Brimfield, would you be interested? I said yes. Didn't hear anything, just heard back that the amount of money's been raised and the boat's been purchased, and it could come back to us, and it's ready, almost ready to go. When they said that, like I said, when they say ready to go, it might be next week that it might be ready to go. This boat is a 16-foot center hull, flat bottom rescue boat. It's designed to primarily do rescues on rivers, so like Kent River system, but can also go on to any kind of open water area. With us having a modular reservoir primarily in our backyard, it seemed like it could fit for location. For us, we also have people that are on the dive team on our department, so again, it seemed like a good fit for us.
Well, if we're gonna talk about this, should we have it amended on
We only need to if we're gonna take an action on it. He's just giving us an update.
Okay.
Because it's not our asset, it's the county's asset.
okay. Go ahead.
Maintenance would be provided by the county, insurance would be provided by the county, Brimfield would assume some overtime and some training costs and call-outs, which call-outs would be normal for us because we already are active on the dive team. And then we would have to provide a space for it.
So you just said we're already active on the dive team?
Correct.
Okay, that is associated with the water, okay.
So with that, I just kind of needed to have just discussion with the board on whether you would have a problem with me doing that. So,
It's an asset for our community, it's helpful.
yeah, so it'd be for us to use, for us, but, part of the county also, so. I think it would be pretty neat. It would be a item that we would be interested in more than some of the county items that get stuck at some places that don't get used. I think this would be a pretty neat item to have.
Yeah. I mean, with Montgomery Reservoir and then Kent, I mean, both being so close, it'd be nice to have that asset.
Yeah, Kevin can get a captain's hat, throw him on there or something. No.
Well, we have the 6-acre lake at McGuire Park too.
Yeah. So like I said, it's a brand new boat with trailer, and we would have. There's some logistics to work out, as far as station access and some other things for county team members that we would have to work out, but I'm sure it can be worked out. So some of the questions I wanted to bring to you was the maintenance and insurance and stuff like that, which we provided by the county.
So there's no additional cost to us.
No. Really, it would just be housing that unit. So, just wanted to have a discussion with the board whether you thought that was okay, and if it is okay, and then they call me and say, hey, it's here, can I take it? So,
Sure. It's your work area.
right. Right.
It'd be different if we were purchasing the boat or having to maintain it.
Correct. Correct. So, any thoughts?
No.
There we go.
Accept the boat when it shows up.
What's that?
Accept it when it shows up.
Okay.
The county owns it.
If you want it,
Oh, we don't own it.
you're good with it?
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, it's a county asset, so,
Oh, it's a county asset, it's not a township
yes,
asset.
it's a county asset.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
Further discussion on that is, as we fill up the bays and we do get the ambulance coming this year, we need to have, and this is down the road, discussion on the fan, the big trailer fan that sits in there, on getting rid of that fan. We've had that fan for 13 years and I've used it once in Brimfield Township. So
I remember when it came.
clearing
here.
out space might be
All right.
time for that to move on.
Maybe the county wants to buy it.
I would love to give it to the county and I'll bring the boat, so,
Right.
but we can have discussion down the road. It's, I send it everywhere else except Brimfield. I used it once. So, it's just,
Could we give it back to the
it's,
people that gave it to us?
no,
They still have the big huge warehouse.
Rubbermaid doesn't want it back.
They don't.
So we'll have that discussion down the road.
Okay.
So, you okay with that then?
Good.
Okay. Second discussion I wanted to have real quick, and then I'll be done, is I talked to the board, I talked to the fiscal office about the Chevy Trax that sits out back, about, since it's just sitting out there, is there a possibility that I start using that for a training vehicle? I do have entry-level firefighters that I need to send to Columbus coming up for EMT schooling. They will also need to go for paramedic schooling, firefighter schooling. I see that there's a vehicle that just sits out back. We own it. Again, I have talked to all three of you individually. Just wanted to have a brief discussion. Can I borrow it? Can I have it? Can I use it? Discussion. I did put some numbers together over a full year of schooling that could save me approximately $8,000 in mileage reimbursement, going to Columbus multiple weeks over and over and driving all over. So it could save me money. Just a thought as it sits.
So originally I had this discussion, something about just selling it, and I don't know what the value of it is if we were to sell it.
We paid $24,000, I think, when we purchased it originally.
So
It's a 2019 Chevy Trax.
probably get
What year
5 or
is
6
that?
grand out of
It's
it.
2019. It's going to depend on the mileage and whatnot and condition.
Okay.
So I haven't
And
determined.
we can save $8,000?
Well, but the question becomes, do we sell it and bring money back into the general fund?
Yeah, it sounds like need some money.
Do we keep it and manage it under the general fund and make it a pool vehicle for all departments to use? Because I think police might be able to use it occasionally, and fire could use it.
Which kind of like what Craig said, there might be some training things where we don't send a marked car, we could potentially use it. Probably not to the length that Craig got these lengthy academy programs. Ours would be more like a couple of day workshop here and there. Wouldn't be as often.
Or option 3 is fire department assumes complete responsibility of it, it goes under their assets, and then they reimburse general fund for a portion of the vehicle value. So it doesn't completely fix general fund, neither selling it will either, but it puts some dollars back. So the value of it's $6,000, maybe fire pays $3,000 for the vehicle, and they're still financially ahead, $5,000 a year.
I'd like it to be pooled for all departments.
The only concern I have with that is that we have 2 vehicles sitting back there right now.
Well, I'd like Joe to have his car back. Because when he moves around with all of his equipment, he takes it out of his car and puts it into that car. Where if he could just carry all that crap in that car all the time, that would really be a saving for him. And for us,
I wouldn't be supportive of taking our vehicles anymore.
yeah.
Having vehicle gear that's accessible, I think is great, but I don't think we need to be paying as much as we do out in mileage and wear and tear, fuel, insurance, as we do as a township.
Well, I think we should just let the fire department have it. I mean, to sell it to him, to give money back to the general fund, that's like selling your car to your wife. It doesn't balance the checkbook. If he wants to kick back some money after we get things straightened out and he sees a savings?
I would even propose if, give it to me, I'll use it, and if I sell it someday, then, I don't know, the general fund can have the money when it sells, I don't, or something, I don't know.
You're not gonna even get $8,000 out of that if you sold it today, so if you can save $8,000 over the next year and you still have the vehicle.
Again, it just sits out there.
Yeah.
And I just thought if we could use it, it might be useful.
If you can save $8,000,
See,
I'd like to see it get there, I worry about the general fund. The general fund paid out the cash for it originally. How do we get a few dollars back in the general fund, right? And that's my concern with it. So I think it's different than the husband-wife conversation because they are two separate entities. It's like two brothers, essentially. So do we just give the car to our brother and we're both hurting for money? Or does it balance it, or does it not even matter? And I guess that's a question for Jasmine.
I think that the fact that we wouldn't really get much for it, I don't think it's, I mean, I understand it's putting something back in the general fund, but I don't think it's making enough difference, is what I'm saying.
Right, because I just know fire's gonna ask for as much as they can get back from the construction project too, which you're owed, right? Like, I don't disagree with that.
well, when we pay fire back, then we could donate something back to the general fund. It's just a wash.
You're
Just-
just saying the same thing.
Yeah, just-
I pay you, you pay me.
yeah, it
I
doesn't.
don't know.
does Roy have any comments that he needs after that? Do you have anything there?
I don't really need it if we're just gonna do that,
But if
just
you-
sell it then.
if you can-
I don't know, I was just, if it sits out there, that's my only thought. If we need $3,000, just sell it then, if you want it. I just
Well,
thought,
what if in time we have the position for a business administrator or whatever, then that car could be, all the department heads have a car, so why we have that little car, then whoever has that is gonna be running off. They're not gonna use your personal car to go do business.
We have a pool vehicle out back.
What?
We have a pool vehicle now.
Okay.
I don't know if we really need two pool vehicles. I guess the other question,
Yeah, I guess if your sole focus is we don't wanna put some money back in general fund, then I'd say sell it. Just sell it, get what you can get, whatever you can get, every little bit helps, you can like take that view. Or the other option, I think, is Craig can use that, that's another viable option too, and you're like, I'm not so concerned about putting money back in the general fund with this piece, was let him, if I use that car. I would simply ask Craig if he wouldn't mind maybe once in a while, if I could send a guy to a training class and maybe use it a couple of times, for something like that, but primarily it would be Craig's.
so you'd have to take over the
What do you
maintenance and everything of it, and all the costs.
Craig,
I don't,
if it's sitting there and police
honestly, I
can use
just
it,
don't think it's that big a deal, just sell it. I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm
It's not-
good with
it's
that.
not-
If you're
It's
gonna-
not a big
I don't want the general fund to pay all the maintenance on it though.
Right.
If you're gonna have it, then have it, but you gotta
Right.
maintain it.
Listen, I'm not trying to be difficult, please don't think that way, but if we're hurting for $5,000, I just sell it.
I have a question.
I don't, it's
So-
not that big a deal.
We have two cars back there, right?
Yep.
Are they both, is one assigned to someone, or are they both?
No. So they both were assigned to people.
Okay.
Cassie turned hers in. The other one, we didn't have to assign, it was Joe's vehicle, so we brought that back in. The
Okay.
idea being getting out of the habit of issuing take-home vehicles
Okay.
as part of the compensation package.
Okay, so we technically
some
have two,
exceptions,
so we technically
yeah.
have two cars back there.
There's two cars sitting back there.
Okay, so, okay, well, that changes things just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, I would say sell, sell it then, sell the one then, is my thing, and then you just have to figure out what you're gonna do with the other one.
give it to fire.
I think just give the Trex to fire and keep the other one. And then it takes one off of the admin books, it's just gonna add to his books just for maintenance then.
And then if I sell it, you can have the money back.
There you go.
I don't,
I'm not against it, I just don't want general fund paying the maintenance on
oh,
the vehicle fire.
I don't think there's gonna be maintenance on that little scratch that I
Yeah.
couldn't afford,
Right.
so.
And the other question is where are you gonna store it?
Give getting a boat now, so it's gonna
That's
have,
the problem.
it's gonna have to sit out back right now. I think that if I can clear out the garage, it's not being used, it could go in there also. And but that's for a discussion for another day too. That needs to be out. So,
I think we should look at cleaning out that garage.
well, part of it is not mine right now.
Right.
That was taken away from me.
But I think that whole garage just becomes fire and they can store it in there, so it's out of the weather, it's out of Dave's way when he's plowing. It's just the one side was Parks and Rec, it just needs cleaned out, it's got a lot of old chamber stuff in there. I don't know why we're housing the chamber stuff, we don't need the
They
existing
left
one.
it there.
That was actually, just, I've been here long enough, that was told to be removed,
Would that be
7, 8
Deep
years
Hanger
ago.
taking care of
It's
that?
never been removed, it just
So
never
can we
got-
just throw it all in the dumpster?
Yes. But at the time, there was previous administration that said, you don't own all that, that's ours, don't touch it. So if you're giving it back, we can touch it. That's up to you guys though.
I just wanna get him, the other thing is I wanna get him out of the weather and out of the parking lot.
If we give you the car, will you take care of the rest of the stuff in the garage?
I'll do it myself. I think, so let's have a little slight discussion on that. We should use some NOPEC money and add some, there's no electric back here still, and Jasmine and I are working on that. If there is any, so the panel is still ripped apart, we can need to add, there's no motors to the garage door openers. We need to add just a couple, it shouldn't take much, but some dollars to that also. Listen, again, I would be open to that if I used the car for a little bit and then we used it for 2 years for the program kids and then wanted to sell it, we can have it. It's not a big deal. I just thought it would be a cheap option to send kids to school. That's it, simple as that. And it would save significant dollars. But I think it would, as Nick said, I think it would be simpler to say, hey, it's yours, if you want to get that way. And I pay the bills for maintenance and stuff like that. I prefer it that way, if that's legal.
Okay, you good?
Oh, yeah. I'm good with that.
It's a money thing, so I always look to you to see.
I know. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So then we would need, we'll need some motions to do that though. So I'll entertain a motion to amend the agenda to add transfer of Parks and Rec vehicle to fire department.
I'll make that motion. Do I need to restate that whole thing? No? Okay.
And then I'll second that motion. So we got a motion on the floor to amend the agenda. Roll call.
Kevin?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
All right, motion passed.
Then I'll entertain a motion to approve the transfer of the Parks Trex vehicle to the fire department inventory.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second. So then this would go transfer to yours.
And it should have insurance and everything else, I assume, so.
Yeah,
They're good to go.
they're good to go. It's moving from admin inventory
Yep.
to your inventory. So your 2027 inventory will pick it up.
Thank you. Well,
Okay.
assume.
Yes. All right, any other discussions on it?
Yeah, I just want to ask, since we've talked about this, I just want to ask if you want to put that in writing. So 5 years from now, when we go to sell it or do whatever we do with it, that it's already in writing that money goes to the general fund. I don't want it to get lost in the shuffle.
Is it that big of a deal? Well, I think by the time we sell it in 5 years, it's gonna be $2,000.
Wow, that's
I think it's gonna be
$2,000
scrapped.
that we don't have.
I think in 5 years from now, it's gonna be scrapped.
Well, that's $350. But I just don't, I think if we're deciding what we're gonna do with it, I think maybe we should write it down for a future.
Right, well, right now, the motion on the floor is to transfer the ownership over. If there's, you can ask for an amendment to the motion, if you want to, or we can just leave it that way and the general fund doesn't get it. So we'd have to amend the motion. Do you want to amend the motion?
Yeah, I just wanna get some money in the general fund, wherever we can. I mean, we can't, on my budget, when it goes really, really bad, everything stops.
Yeah. I think it'd be, I mean, we need the money today, not 5 years from now, so if we're not gonna do the money today, then we just do the transfer and we're done.
Okay.
Try to let Roy borrow it every once in a while.
That's a good idea. Just, okay,
Yes.
good.
All right, roll call.
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
All right, motion passed.
Thank you. That's all I have.
That's all that's on the agenda for the good of Brimfield Township. Anything else? Dave, do you wanna talk about mowing contract, or you wanna wait till next week to discuss that?
We'll discuss it next week.
Okay. All right, we'll hold that till next week. Anything else for the good of the order? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So move.
Second.
Roll call?
Kevin,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
All right, meeting adjourned.
7:45.
That was easy.
Thanks.